Let's have a look now at what the disability sector is heading for under this government.
The ministry set up to help provide services for disabled people was ill-prepared for the task.
You know, that community that needs to be taken down a peg or two, Chewy? The disabled. We need to put them in their place. They've had it too good.
Those
too
people
long.
have had it too good, too long.
Too bloody good, those guys.
According to an independent report. Established in July 2022, the same time as the health reforms, the Ministry of Disabled People, Whaikaha, commissions more than $2 billion of support services annually for nearly 50,000 people. It provides equipment and vehicle and housing modifications for 100,000 clients.
I mean, just look at that. Amazing. Yeah? Thanks, Auntie Jacinda. Amazing. Helps 45,000 New Zealander new clients with 100,000 clients needing equipment. Amazing. Well done.
The report found its delivery of disability support services inconsistent. It'll blow this year's appropriation.
Was this one done by Bill English as well, this report? Because, you know, sometimes when this government does a report, they get people to write them up that pretty much, to quote Nicole McKee, already know what they're going to say.
If spending's not controlled, inadequate budgetary control and commercial rigour, and it wasn't set up in a way needed to manage its work effectively.
It's missed the last point though, Chewy, and we need money for tax cuts and landlords. They've left that one off. I wonder why they left that one off.
Basically, it's too small for the job and budget. Disability support services will now be the responsibility of the Social Development Ministry. With where that leaves Whaikaha and the implications of the change, here's senior political reporter Benedict Collins.
Disability advocates today with very different takes on the Whaikaha overhaul.
The impact of this review will be really harmful.
I'm actually not too disappointed in what Louise was saying, if she's genuine.
Weighing in on this move to split up the two-year-old ministry.
Yeah, that's the constant kicker with this government. Remember, even if what they're saying sounds good, and this is the example I always use, we're all equal. It's the legislation behind it, and it's the intent behind it. So even if my word of warning would be with this government, even if it doesn't sound too bad, the devil is always in the detail.
I feel incredibly frustrated that it wasn't set up well enough to be successful.
I didn't get as far as I wanted, but I am proud of what we achieved.
Though scaled down, it will be given new independence.
It'll be standalone, it'll be powered up, it'll have a much stronger voice for the million disabled New Zealanders.
There's a lot of things the policy team could do, and that excites me. The funding part frightens me.
The ministry's funding arm, Disability Support Services, will be embedded into MSD.
I don't think it should be under MSD at all. MSD is not our friend.
What we don't want to do is waste precious time and energy trying to build a financial system when there's one that we can utilise.
Labor believes the review was flawed from the start.
They didn't even have a disabled person sitting at the table giving voice to the kaupapa and what was...
That doesn't sound like this government, not involving the sector they're changing laws for, Chewy. Carmel must be wrong. That's not what these guys are about. Clearly wrong.
Being discussed and decided, and that is absolutely remiss of the minister.
And it's clear many in the sector are upset about what they say is a complete lack of consultation. The Disability Support Network, for example, said it's emblematic of a government that cares more about tax cuts than helping disabled people.
This is a massive slap in the face to disabled people.
Do you have any concerns about any of the recommendations?
Oh, that pause was too long, lady. That pause was too long. Look at Louise Upson looking at her going, answer the question.
Fucking talk. Oh shit, she's rebooted.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see that again.
That was too long.
I acknowledge that the sector has been through a challenging year.
That means I have concerns, but the minister's sitting right here. That's what that answer means, journalists.
Really focused on is leading through these set of recommendations.
and the future of the Whaikaha boss now uncertain as the latest round of change for the disability sector begins. Benedict Collins.
There you go, Joe. That was actually quite a good wrap up. The thing about it is, right, and there was one advocate there who was saying, oh, it doesn't look too bad if they do what they say they're going to do. You know, if that's the case, why the concern from so much of the sector? This is off Scoop Politics today. I don't have it kind of highlighted it out, but just in general, from the New Zealand Disability Sector Network, just Disability Support Network. The government's bombshell decision to cut disability support funding in real terms while gutting the ministry designed by and for disabled. That's interesting. Designed by. Slightly different tack to this government. Designed by and for disabled people without even digging. What's that word? Help me with that. Deigning. Sorry.
Deigning.
There's my dyslexia for you. Deigning to talk to the people affected first is heartbreaking, says New Zealand Disability Support Network CEO Peter Reynolds. See, it's not fair. They do this disability thing, but they never think about people with dyslexia, do they? Government cost-cutting exercise shows lack of respect for disabled people, their families and support workers. So the sector doesn't seem to have taken it all very happily. So when the people who are being impacted and the people, let's just call them the experts, you know, like Don Brash doesn't want to have part of either, are going whoop, 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 then that's the time we go, okay, what's going on here? This doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel good.
It's not good enough. Like I mean, we jokingly, very tongue in cheek, we're going, oh yes, disabled people, the guys that have had it too good for too long. The reason that the reaction is so quick and so strong is the margins that these people live within are so thin.
Yeah.
Life is hard. The whole world is not designed for them.
Yep.
This is why there's money spent. This is why there's assistance giving, because those people should be able to exist in this world. And it just is so clear with this government that they are looking at numbers and how to funnel more of those numbers to the property owning class, and will take it from the people that can't defend themselves.
Yeah, vulnerable.
We'll take it from the disabled people. We'll take it from Māori. We'll take it from the homeless, the jobless, the vulnerable. It's a cash cow for them.
Mm.
Like, society's weakest is a money tree for our government. Does that sound, that doesn't sound right to me, but they seem to be pretty emboldened to just shake it, break it, see what falls out of it. Yeah, we've spoken about our privilege on the show a lot, right? This stuff doesn't affect me, but I've certainly got enough empathy to go, if I was someone that was affected by this, how scared are you?
I think also, Chewy, it's that conversation we had last night about being on a benefit. Every person in New Zealand, excuse me, I'm just pouring a water for myself. Every person in New Zealand is one car crash away from needing that department. Every person is one, job being fired away, maybe not every person, but from needing to be, supported by our safety net. So if you don't have empathy for it, I just hope you never have to come across it. And it's like when you hear people talking about things they've never had to deal with themselves, but then they have a child who needs that ministry. And then, all of a sudden their eyes are open because it now impacts someone they know. It's just like it's like there but for the grace of God goes all of us. Anyone in society could be you with a coin flip the other way at another time.
You mentioned our safety net. That's exactly what it is. Like, how much has this government hacked holes in our safety net so they can sell the extra bits of rope?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good way.
Like, if you get sick and you go into the public health system, are there enough doctors and are there enough nurses? Do you get sicker? Does something worse happen to you? Are you disabled now? Mm-hmm. Is there going to be enough support for you? How long do you have to wait to get your house adapted for a wheelchair?
Yeah.
To get your doors widened, to get a ramp put in. If you don't have your own house, how long are you waiting for public housing to be adapted for you? Is there enough housing out there for it? We know the answer to that is you're waiting too long and there's not enough support. That's frightening.
Yeah. All right. Hey,
and that's coming from an able-bodied person with his own house. Like, I can see that that's frightening. Why does Louise Upston not see it?
Because there's a big bill to pay for landlords and tax breaks. So it's Bomber coined a phrase last night when he was talking about an issue, and he was talking about how this government camouflaged it. So yeah, so it's still there. It's just been painted in like the background, so it's a lot harder to see. I think it's a really interesting way to think about what this government's done, camouflaging things. You know, it's like you've got the rusty heap of a car in the front yard. The landlord's coming around, so you just go and put flax leaves all over it to make it look like a bush or something. It's not there. It still is there, but we're trying to make sure people can't see that it's there.